Hey, I'm Dale from DaleDarley.com, and we're going to talk about writing a book. So you'll have seen in other videos, I've talked about all kinds of things, and I'm just wondering if you've thought about, before you start writing, or actually even while you're writing, who is your book for? So I'm going to take you through just a couple of books. So the first book is, who is this book for? So I'm currently writing this, and what I've noticed is, in my line of work, so I do a lot of work around writing to heal, is that people want to write healing memoirs, and it's not the same as writing other kinds of memoirs, because you have been through a lot of trauma and emotional stuff, and so we cover a lot of stuff in this book. So who do I want to read this? People who want to write to heal, so they might want to write the book as a healing process and never publish, but also they might want to write a healing book. And so this, for example, this is a healing memoir. So they might want to write a book like that they're going to take out into the world. They want to inspire people to heal whatever it is they've gone through, to heal, but they want to build a business, they want to build their brand, and they really want to lead with their book. So who's that for? People who want to write a healing memoir. Now, I can be a lot more specific than that. I tend to work with women. I tend to work with women who are over 45, mainly English speaking. And when I say English speaking, I do often work with people who English is not their first language. So, we have a lot of editing of those books to do, but that's fine. So who is that book for? So if I take Plan Your Non-Fiction book, who's that for? That's for all genders and anybody who really wants to go through and who loves the planning process. If you don't love planning and you want to pants your book, this isn't for you, because I take you through a lot of planning processes. So I'm a big planner. I like to get all the planning out of the way, and then I just want to write. So this is for people who want to plan a non-fiction book. So that's fairly straightforward. These are books for people who love to journal, but they want to write and heal. They want to find those stories, they want to heal those emotions and those wounds and stuff like that. So this, again, these are directed mainly at women. I do have guys using Writing to Heal, but mostly my target audience is women over 40, 45, that kind of age. So they're healing books. And who do I want to read this? I would love women who have gone through some real rubbish in their lives, who want to heal, who want some tools to be able to change their life. And there's 7 women in this book, there's 8 stories and 8 pieces of self-wisdom. There's going to be something in this for a woman who has gone through some dreadful, dreadful trauma. So women who've been discriminated against, raped, sexual abuse by a parent, sexual abuse by, in my case, it was the babysitter. It's women who have gone through grief. There's so much in here. So this book is for women who need to heal and want some great, great tools. So you can see that I haven't gone through the nitty gritty of who my ideal client is, but it's who do you want to read your book? If you thought about your why and your what, who would you love to pick up your book? And that's my question for you to scribble in your journal right here, right now. So I'm Dale. You can find me at DaleDarley.com. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you next time.